Howdy, y'all. My name is James Lamp, and I am a presidential student ambassador with Cohort 7. College is full of such wonderful experiences. Many of these experiences are ones that you will encounter for the first time, whether it's something as simple as studying in a coffee shop or studying at the library in the wee hours of the morning for an upcoming final. Or it could be something even more social, like going out to a club or using a dating app to find your next love. However, when going to do something with someone else, you want to make sure that you keep the concept and ideas of consent to protect yourself and those around you. The first question you might ask is, what is consent? Consent is defined in the dictionary as permission for something to happen or agreement to do something. We don't typically talk about consent when it's being abided by, but I'm sure you're aware of instances in which it's being violated right now. Some instances of this could be as small as cutting in front of someone in line to the dining hall, or as large as an unforeseen invasion between countries, like the one currently occurring in Eastern Europe. However, in college, we commonly see consent being violated in two possible ways: peer pressure and domestic assault. Peer pressure is something that you have surely encountered, observed, or done to someone in high school. It's when you pressure one of your peers to do something that they would not normally do otherwise. Like consent, peer pressure can take a wide range of forms. Some of it, in fact, could actually be beneficial. Like if a friend is procrastinating on an assignment and you tell them that everyone else is doing it, so they need to get their butt in the gear. However, we typically see peer pressure in a negative way at WVU. One time that I've been personally peer pressured in college is when I was pressured to drink alcohol. I would either go something along everyone else is doing it, or to quote a text that I received from one of my friends, it will make me feel good. So you should just do it, man. I'm sure you can think of many other instances where this has occurred to you. It is not uncommon to be peer pressured or to peer pressure someone else. The other instance of consent being violated is in the case of domestic assault. I mean domestic assault not in the strictest criminal sense, where there's a family disturbance, although that is included. I mean any instance between people that results in someone being violated. This could be something like being forced on going to a date or event with someone, or a very bad roommate scuffle, or it could be something as horrific and tragic as a rape or a kidnapping. Unlike the case of peer pressure, there are no good instances of domestic assault. It does nothing but hurt the person who suffers through it and occasionally the one perpetrating the assault. There's no point in doing it. So, what do we do about these problems? Unfortunately, for most victims of consent violations, there's not much that they could have done to stop it or to prevent this from happening. By letting their wishes be known by either saying no, a timid yes, or nothing at all in response to something or an offer, they take the one step that they could possibly do in combating the problem, which is by revoking their consent. For those whose consent is being violated, that is unfortunately all they can do. So the problem really lies with consent upon the aggressors, those who violate consent. However, they typically do not mean to violate consent at all. They simply may not understand what consent is. In most cases, aggressors do not even believe that they're violating consent by encouraging someone to engage in an activity. This is a problem that must be taught to all of those who will be in contact with other people, which is also known as everyone. Otherwise, those who slip between the cracks will simply be unaware that they're hurting someone by their actions and are at the root of the problem that faces this campus. Unfortunately, consent violations are on the rise on college campuses, workplaces, and everywhere else in society. Sexual assaults have occurred to approximately 15% of all college students, according to RAINN, a leading institution on sexual assaults and rape. Peer pressure has not been directly tracked, but it could be easily hypothesized that there's been a similar increase, except at a much grander scale because it happens much more often. A change must be made within the culture of this university in order to combat this epidemic. Together, we can make our university a much safer place to work and play. Stay safe, Mountaineers.